simple one.
Oh, well, that'll work.
I was printing off the paper, computer doesn't work.
Thank you.
The other day when I was on this, they wasn't updated yet, so. Are you good to go, Jessica? See, it is 6 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. If you would please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight, and especially our new superintendent, Dr. Vanderhoff. And we'd like to share at the beginning of each meeting part of our vision, mission, and core beliefs. Tonight is vision and mission. Vision: engaging, educating, empowering everyone every day. And the mission is Bloomfield School District encourages our students in learning, educate our students in academic and life skills, empowers our students for the future, and embraces everyone's differences every day. And we'd like to start off with the students of the month, and I believe we're starting with the high school tonight.
Yeah, we are. What? And I've got 2 students of the month. We recognized our 7th grade and thank you. You ready? Okay. All right, so first off, I'm going to recognize our 7th grade student of the month. That's Mr. Bladen Plumley. Get up here, my man. Turn around, face you. I see you all the time. You don't have to. But Bladen is a 7th grader. He gets it from the time he gets off the bus to the time he gets back on it. So I don't know. Bladen is a fine young man here. And so some of the questions that I asked him, his favorite food, he likes tacos. And so that goes in line with his enjoying Mexican. He's, let's see, not on any teams or clubs yet. His hobbies, he likes gaming. Okay, astrophotography. I need to do that. So he likes a gamer, astrophotography, and astronomy. So well done there. All right, sir. His favorite subject, computer science. He's very interested in AI, artificial intelligence. We got a great computer science program. And what does he like? Oh, that's a good one. What's he like most about Bloomfield Middle and High School? You want to tell him? Lunch. Late, congratulations, sir. Well done. Give this to you. You got your shirt over there. And then we want to get a picture. I don't know, Marvin, you want to get a picture and send them all to the Carter? I can do it. Over there, that thing right there.
Wait a second. I'm getting with. Well done. One more. Three.
All right, our next student of the month, Mara Goodwin. Mara, come on up here. All right, now I'm gonna ask you some questions, right? She's laughing because the light bulb went off. She goes, I didn't answer his questions on that Google. That's all right. So, as I said, this is Mara Goodwin, and she is a freshman here at Bloomfield. What is your favorite food, Ms. Goodwin? Chinese food. All right, well, let's get real particular here. General Tso's chicken, sour chicken, anything. Okay, very good. All right. What are you involved with as far as like clubs, teams, groups, programs?
ROTC, choir.
Yeah, ROTC, choir, and dance. There, you got that. Very good. Okay, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? And it doesn't necessarily have to be at school. It's just whatever you like to do. Nice. She's a voracious reader and roller skate. Back in the day, ask your grandpa over there. We had a roller rink here. Yeah, we used to do that. So that's old school stuff. All right. What is your favorite subject and why?
Because I really like the class that I can.
Very nice. Human Services. And who's the teacher of Human Services? Miss Hughes, Tracy Hughes. That's exactly right. And what do you like most about Bloomfield Middle and High School?
It's different from any school. And it's one of my favorite schools.
Nice. That's glad to hear. Well, we love having you. So congratulations. All right. Well done. I've got your shirt over there, so I'll give that. And let's go get a picture, or your mom and grandparents, they can all get a picture with you or for you. So you guys go right ahead. Go ahead, Beth. I've taken my picture and already posted. You go ahead. If you want to take a picture. If you don't, I'll get it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Don't twist anybody's arm. Mom, you can get in. Yeah. All right. Congratulations. Good job, man. Well done.
Elementary.
All right. So I want to call up as my student of the month, Mariana Helderman. I said it right, didn't I? I get in trouble when I call her Mariana. Real fast. So, all right. So, do you remember your answers? See, I don't really think that Mr. Dean even asks them questions because he always tells them the answers. See how we do. All right, here we go. So Mariana is the daughter of, what's mom's dad's name? Linda Roberts. See, 1 for 1. Good job. All right. She has one brother. What's his name? Jared. Here, come around here so they can see you. Like Mr. Dean said, I already see you. All right. Now, what's your favorite subject in school?
Art.
Art. Absolutely. And your favorite hobby?
Softball.
Playing softball. Good job. Favorite food? Remember we agreed on this. Favorite food?
Crab meat.
Crab meat. Right. We agreed on that one. Favorite color? Pink. You must have more than one favorite color. Yeah. Okay. And favorite TV show? You said
Fun.
you're gonna tell us what that is because I have no idea.
It's a comedy show where they do funny things like on one of the characters that is a pageant queen, and she always is overthinking things.
There you go. There you go. See why you think that's funny. I asked her what she likes best about Bloomfield, and she says we have a lot of fun activities. Right? I'm glad you like school. Good job. Want to hear what your teacher says about you? She says Mariana, see how about did it again? Mariana is one of the sweetest and funniest kids that I have ever met. She is always helpful to others and has the best manners. She works hard in class and can always be counted on to do the right thing. Not only is she an excellent student, but she is an excellent person. You know what you need to do right now? Look at mom and dad and say thank you.
Thank you.
They built that in you, kiddo. All right, so come here. Wait, don't walk off yet. So you got a Student of the Month plaque, and see, Mr. Dean didn't do this. Dairy Queen card. You like ice cream? Tell them you like ice cream.
I love ice cream.
Get your picture. Marianne, everybody. Okay, so I only had one Student of the Month, but I do have a couple other students that I want to recognize. As you guys know, I shared last month that we had really good iRead scores, but we had two students that they were just better than the rest. They got perfect scores on iRead. So I want to call up Lillian Austin and Jaylee Pearson. Their teachers we were talking on this. Partially, they've got it from here.
They have perfect scores because they have perfect answers. Jaylee is all that one could ask for in a student. She is sweet, gives me hugs every day. Love, love, love her. She is very studious. She works hard. What else? We have fun, don't we? Yeah. What else? She is. We're taking iLearn right now, and she is one of the last ones done, which means she's taking her time and she's going through all the problems, and she's very meticulous. She's very, very good. So I'm super proud of you.
And I have Lily or Lillian Austin, and about the same thing. She's a good student. She works really hard. She pays close attention to all those little details, and same thing. She takes that iLearn seriously and works really hard, and is about the last one done because she's paying attention to those details, and that's what makes a student a better student. So proud of both of these girls. We both are, and we appreciate both of them. So. So proud of them. Dairy Queen.
Everybody smile now.
Look at how much you take a picture of just the girl.
All right, there you go.
Well, again, congratulations to the Students of the Month and the perfect iRead scores. We invite you to stay for the rest of the meeting, but we understand if you need to leave, we'll pause for just a second, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the meeting. We'll continue on with the rest of our recognitions. Elementary next?
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off. We wanted to kind of mention something about the carnival. Mrs. Parsley would like to say something on that. I can do whatever.
It was great. It was fantastic. It's been over 15 years, I think, since we had anything of that sort. Just something that I think we were passionate about with the pandemic, and our PTO is not the strongest or even existing right now. And I think the 5 of us just felt like we needed to do something to get the community involved. And that's what we came up with. And it was easy to plan, but there were some kinks along the way, but we had over 450 people here, raised, where are we at with money?
It was over $5,000.
Almost $5,000
Yeah,
in
over
2 hours,
5,000.
so.
And just so you know, the whole point in raising it was so that we can run it again next year.
Yeah.
And use that
All
money
going
to
back
run
in,
it just constantly. That way it's self-sufficient, which is kind of cool. We didn't expect that kind of turnout, to be honest with you.
Plus Bloomfield helped with food. Mrs. Medina helped with the WOW grant, and so did Jessica Lauderdale with Title I. So we had some, pull from other places, and it really just went way better than we could have expected. So.
Well, with our title grant, we have a couple times a year that we're supposed to involve parents and students for after school activities and stuff. So we always do the color run early on, and then usually we do a movie and popcorn this time of year. But because this came up, it was just a great way just to blend everything together. It went, I agree with her, it went better than expected, just phenomenal. And these ladies are really, the 3rd grade team, Miss Lauderdale, Miss Hill, they kind of handled it. They did a phenomenal job, so I give them credit.
And we couldn't do it without the rest of our staff who volunteered. I mean, there were a few people that had prior commitments, and that's totally expected, but they were here when they didn't have to be, and they had fun, and the kids saw them in a different perspective, and hopefully that's just building morale back up from some other things that have happened. So hopefully.
Well, I think it's interesting. It's good to know too that lots of staff members not only volunteered their time but donated.
Yeah.
So that some of the prizes we gave away, some of the we had a silent auction. There was a lot of donations that were just out of pocket by staff. And that's just really awesome to know that everybody really, I think, wanted this to happen. And I think that's great. I didn't realize it'd been 15 years, but yeah.
My family had a great time, so thank you guys. It was really, really nice.
So if you have any suggestions or anything for the future, I mean, we're looking at a date for next year already, so.
Yeah, you need to get one of those clowns that does the balloons.
Well, again,
That'd be something to.
we have lots of things, and we had to kind of tone it down to see, make sure we could run it this time.
Yeah.
We'll pony rides would be great.
We can put
I
little
can-
boots on its feet.
I can tell you the Pie the Principal booth was very active.
I wanted to be there, but I couldn't. I was running my booth.
I think I had not shaving cream, but Cool Whip on my ears, my nostrils. I mean, every orifice you could find on my head. It was, I think I got hit with a pie over 250 times, my wife said.
The pictures of your wife next to you as they were being thrown were fantastic. I was just saying.
I think she was enjoying that a little too much.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen her smile like that in a long time.
I agree. Some other things that I always do, character trait winners. I always try to tell you who won drawings. For the month of March, we had 4 after the last meeting. Remember, character trait was responsibility, and the ideal graduate trait was the collaborative. So Riker Leone, Rachel Coons, Bo Hardiston, and Olivia McIntosh were the 4 winners there. For the April, we have caring as our character trait and nice as our ideal graduate trait, and they go hand in hand. So again, every morning I read off what they are, I read off what that means, and then we have just a little quick reading about just an example of what those traits, how those traits are used. So winners of the drawings for April, Easton Hannon, Brianne Manning, Braylee Rollins, Nevaeh Hodge, Gavin Rice, and Norman Wilson. The 4 winners. We'll have 2 more next week, so that'll be on next month. I'd like to recognize the people that help out with Welcome Wednesday. Ms. Hill kind of handles that, but this month our baseball team showed up to welcome the kids, our tennis team showed up to welcome the kids, and our track team showed up this past Wednesday. So we really appreciate that. They do phenomenal. Those little kids love to see the older kids. Like, that's some of the coolest stuff. Those high fives and all that. So it's kind of cool with that. So Also, celebration that we had, Mrs. Riggs and Mrs. Lauderdale both returned from their medical leaves. So we are really glad to have them back going, and they seem to be getting healthier as we go. So Mrs. Riggs is flying around on a little scooter, pushing with one leg. So we give her a little bit of a hard time about that, but
It's a really good one.
it does have a horn.
I think she needs a cake though.
Should have done that.
I told her.
And the last thing I have is we've been knee deep in iLearn testing now. So it has, we kind of changed the way that we are giving the iLearn test this year, spreading it out a little bit more, trying to reduce testing fatigue by not making them do as many questions as they've done in the past. We're hoping that'll help out a lot. Again, the teachers are making that happen. We're trying to keep anybody that misses time, we're trying to get them caught up as quickly as we can without causing that testing fatigue as well. So I think we had a really good plan. I think it's something we're going to use from now on because I think this is the way to do it. But just wanted to recognize our staff. We utilize, not only the teachers, but the aides as well to get in there and help keep kids on task. And the students. I mean, from what I can tell, from what I've seen, they're trying. So that's all we can ask is for them to give us their best. I feel like that they're doing it. So we want to recognize them as well. That's all I've got. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Dean.
Got it, no worries. Hey, we're right on. So recognitions that we had. First off, the NJROTC unit got word this month that they were designated as a distinguished unit with honors. And so that's the top percent of units. And really proud and happy for them. They've done things this year as far as like accomplishments and placements and everything that we've not done before. We've always been, close and competed, but this year they, as you know, they took the top honor in the Area 3 drill, meet, and so forth. Also, on April 17th, that weekend, they finished third out of 13 teams in the Area 3 physical fitness competition. They faced teams out of Ohio, New York, Kentucky, Indiana, and West Virginia. And so they did a very good job with that. So they will keep going on, and they, let's see, they had their officers for next year. So we'll have a new CO and everything, and they'll be getting that taken over for the change of command. That'll be coming up here before too long. So this week, we had two recognitions this week. Number one, the High School Art Club wanted to have a visual arts week. And so we've been, they came up with specific days for each day. And that has been going on this week for the visual arts. That's been a lot of fun. They've done a good job. Yesterday, we tied it in with the early college week, which I'll go on that in just a second. Tuesday was your favorite artist, and the staff dressed up as Mr. LeGrand. And I will say that Mrs. Maddox probably nailed it the best, and it was her hair that did it, had the little bun on top like Wyatt has and so forth. But it's been a lot of fun for the art club to have that visual arts week and recognize their accomplishments and all that they do. So happy and proud of them for doing that. As I mentioned, this is the National Early College Week. Of course, BHS is an accredited early college high school. On Monday, we recognized our current students, and Christy posted several on our Facebook page with that. Tuesday, we recognized our dual credit staff and provided lunch for them and a little crumble cookie treat that we got for them as well. And again, we've all been posting this on social media and everything. Wednesday was promoting our program and all that we have with that. Also, we had an Indiana College Core Night that Ivy Tech came down for. And then today was our alumni spotlight, and we had Gracie Lowry and Emma Vaught created a video. They're both down at USI, and they posted that. And then Maddie Burton, who graduated in 2017, posted one for us. And Maddie is she's down at BNL right now as a counselor, and then she is headed to Idaho State to get her doctorate in psychology. So she'll be leaving there, and she'll be traveling out there. So we're proud. It's a good success story there as an alumni as well. And then tomorrow is celebrate our higher ed partner, which we have Ivy Tech and Indiana University. So we'll be doing things for that. But this is a national early college week, and be a part of that. So we're happy with that. FFA banquet was last night, well attended, good food, catered, and had recognitions. Also, we had students, handful of students that presented their SAE summer projects, their supervised agriculture experience, which checks the box for bucket 2 of the graduation pathways for project-based learning. And then they also handed out the chapter awards that they have as well. On April 12th, our sophomore class, the entire sophomore, I say the entire sophomore class, some of them didn't show up that day, but either way, all the sophomores did the early college field trip to Oklahoma City University. And so our freshmen go to a 4-year university, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Freshmen go to Vincennes for a 2-year junior college. Sophomores take a private institution. Juniors go to a 4-year institution, and our seniors go to Ivy Tech because they're our higher ed partner, and they work on their transcripts and go through all that process up there. So we did that on April 2nd or 12th. Let's see, some athletic recognitions here. Of course, our basketball coach, Jamie Neal, our athletic director, he was the IBCA District 3 Coach of the Year. So we want to congratulate JB on that. Peter Combs signed his letter of intent to continue his basketball career at Taylor University. I'm happy for Peter and his family, and had teammates in at the signing that we had. Blake Neal has been selected to play in the Indy Star Boys All-Star Futures game. So they're making a whole production of the day of the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Series, and that's at Bainbridge Fieldhouse. And so he's one of 2 freshmen that was selected for the Futures game. And so it's a pretty neat thing that's going to happen there. That's June 10th to be a part of that. We've also, next week will be when we're taking care of iLearn for grades 6 through 8. So I'll kind of report on that since that's in May. But today and tomorrow, we've had the biology iLearn that Ms. Wright's been taking care of with our biology students. And it's that time of year. Prom is Saturday. So Grand March will be at 6 o'clock. Doors will open a little bit before then, and we'll have our bleachers on the upstairs and lower home side. And we will have our introductions of our for the Grand March, and then we will start the prom soon thereafter, give it a little bit of time for pictures. And this year, they are going home after prom. And then they will return and leave Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. to go to Kings Island. They're using charter buses because you guys, if you thought or if you knew, you've not done anything about approving school buses being used for prom. That's why they're using charter buses. So a lot of tired kids on Monday. So, but it'll be fun
If they show up.
Yeah, and they'll have that. So looking forward to that. And once prom's over, it is a true sprint till the end of the year. May 27th graduation, 11 a.m. Glover Gymnasium. That's it.
All right, thank you. And our next agenda item is public comments. Do we have any? No? All right, thank you. And now we have the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda, we have the meeting minutes from March 23rd meeting. We have the treasurer's report. We have a list of personnel. And then we have donations. And we would like to thank the following for their donations to the NJROTC, the American Legion, Beverly Spoonmore, the NRA grant, the Greene County Foundation 100 Acre Woods, Ken's Barbershop, Brenda Hughes, and Linda Maddox. And we would like to thank High Lift for their donation to the baseball team, and then the elementary carnival to the high school art club. And then we also have a fundraiser request for the girls basketball program. We have a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, any questions or comments on the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now on to other business. And first one is American Cross Facility Use Agreement. Would you like to explain?
Sure. So I was approached by the American Red Cross out of Bloomington, and they presented a facility use agreement. Basically, what their request is if our area, our town ever had a disaster, they would like to have a pre-agreed upon agreement for using our facilities. The only facilities that they would want to use would be the parking lot, possibly the middle school, high school lobby, and possibly the auxiliary gym. Basically, the idea would be, as a school, I think we are best set up to serve the community in this way, where if there was a disaster, this would be a great place to house a lot of people, and that's what the American Red Cross was thinking. If you read through it detail by detail, line by line, like I did, you'll see that any cost that is that we incur, they would reimburse us for. Any damages that might happen to the facility, they would reimburse us for. But the idea of having this agreement in advance would be, when a disaster happens, they don't want to then have to get us together and, try and get the board to agree really quickly. So just knowing that this would be a place that they could go. So we're hoping that this agreement would never need to be used. I put it as a first reading so that if there were questions or concerns that any of you wanted to bring up, I could look into them and address them. But if it's, if not, then it's something that could be voted on at the next meeting. But I wanted to give everybody time to read the agreement, think through it, and see if there's any questions or concerns I need to address before bringing it to you again.
Questions or comments at this time?
The only thing I can think of, Scott, is on the insurance side of it. I know that they're talking about, providing, the certificate of insurance on that and everything. Would it make any sense to just have it looked over by our insurance carrier, just to make sure there's not anything left out of that
Yeah.
you need to take? I mean, just to have them sign off on it and say, yeah, that looks good. I know it seems pretty straightforward, but that's one thing I can think of.
I'll work on that. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none. Next, other business is research for improving investments.
So what I wanted to bring up is from a financial standpoint, we are in good shape, but if you look at our rainy day fund, for example, there's a little over $800,000 in there, and we have it currently in the Farmers and Mechanics getting 1% interest. There are a few options that Michelle Keene and I are going to look into. So at this point, I'm just wanting to let you know something that we're working on. Any change to that account would be voted upon by the board. But some of the places that we're going to look is Northwest has a 9-month CD that Mr. Birch mentioned to me. I've worked with the Hoosier Fund before that brings in about 4%, and a lot of schools use that. There's another one that Michelle Keene knew about, the Indiana Trust, and they're at about 4% as well. So we want to look into if Farmers and Mechanics has any other options that would equal those other opportunities, and we want to look into those other ones. One thing that we'll be researching is how often we can withdraw or deposit, if there's added fees for that. From the ones that I know about that I've used in the past, there's not. It's take it in and out at any point, but obviously the rainy day, that doesn't happen often, or we hope it doesn't happen often. So I just want to let you guys know that that's something that I'll be working on and looking into. So at some point in the future, you'll have more information to see if I believe it makes sense to make a change.
Good.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments at this time? Okay. And then a review of the recent audit.
Yes. So this audit was finalized before I came. We did have our exit interview today, but pretty impressive that Michelle Keene, from her start date, she had 2 audits that she had to go through right away. And I've been impressed with how calm and collect she stays, and because that's a lot of work to go through those audits on top of the other day-to-day responsibilities she has. So there were a few findings, and I just wanted to mention them to you so that you knew what they were. And the biggest thing that anytime there is a finding in an audit is, what are we going to change to make sure that we are on the correct path moving forward. So one of them was just preparation of the schedule of expenditures of federal award. And so going forward, that schedule of expenditures of federal award will be verified with a sign off by the superintendent. That wasn't happening in the past, so that's a easy change that we can make to ensure that added control measure. The second one, the Education Stabilization Fund, as far as reporting, what we are going to do is the district will implement a formal review of the Education Stabilization Annual Report and ensure the amounts are reported agree to the underlying records. The third one on that audit was child nutrition cluster reporting. The school lunch division reimbursement claims will be reviewed by a secondary individual prior to submission to the IDOE and sign off on the document to review. The other audit that we went through was the desktop fiscal auditing report for federal grants. There was one finding, and it related to internal controls, and that was the semi-annual certification forms of personnel activity reports for employees paid with federal grant funds were not submitted and could not be located for the audit period. So moving forward, both time and attendance documents and time and effort documents must be maintained. A statement of assurance must be signed and submitted, stating that the semi-annual certification forms or program activity forms will be completed for personnel paid from federal grant funds. And we do have a few of those outside of the ESSER funds that we recently had. There's one that we've always had, that's like the Title I employees. So that's what they're referring to there. So we will make those changes, and when we get audited in the future, those won't be findings.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments about the audits?
Can we back up there for a minute to the rainy day fund?
Sure.
Farmers and Mechanics is like the last local bank where you walk in there and see stuff. And I mean, I know we want to try and grow what we have, but, and I'd be in favor of maybe taking a portion of that and trying to grow it, but I don't want to see us pull out of Farmers and Mechanics personally.
Well, and that's going to be part of what I want to research with the whole process. I want to
Maybe
speak to
they can
them,
offer something better.
yeah, and see if they can. Also, I want to make sure that we're looking at what impact it can have when you're talking about a bank that gives out mortgages. You know, are they going to be able to continue to maintain those mortgages? So all of that information will be what I bring back to present to you. So that's part of what I want to look into, because it is important to maintain the good relationships in the community and keep our community strong. So I do agree with you, but I'm just right now going to research and bring you all the answers that I can get.
Okay. And then the next agenda item is 1003 flexibility waiver.
And just, so for that one, as you guys know, we've had that historically the past few years. And what I'm asking you guys to approve on this one I'm asking you to vote on and approve, is that we continue with what we've done in the past. As part of the application process for next year, there is supposed to be a board resolution. So you see that on there, that I'm asking you to vote on passing that resolution so that I can enter that into the job form and ask the DOE to grant us that waiver again, moving forward. So one of the documents is just on what we plan to use it for, and this is exactly what it's been used for in the past, where we have the early release Fridays. And so I'm explaining the minutes and what will be done on those Fridays. And the goal is to continue with what we've been doing to improve professional development opportunities for our staff, which then has a positive impact on student learning. So I would like to keep that moving forward, but obviously you all need to approve it, and then the DOE needs to approve it.
And do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, and do we have any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. And then request for approval of economic textbooks. Is there any further information we need on that? Or? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, do you have any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Okay, thank you. And then there is a request for approval of the Spanish textbooks. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion that we approve.
All right, thank you. And a second?
I'll second.
All right, any questions or comments? All right, all in favor? Okay, thank you. And then the 2022 National School Lunch Program Equipment Grant. Is there any additional comments or anything on that?
Yeah, that's a grant that Sarah Helms and Dr. Milner wrote together. They were awarded $30,000 if you're voting to accept it, which is my recommendation. It's for, well, still got to accept it. So it's for a hood ventilation system. It's not the whole cost, but it's obviously dropping the cost by $30,000 with this grant. And, you know, as part of the renovation to the cafeteria and the upgrades to older equipment. So, yes.
Good. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
All right, and a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any questions or comments on this grant? All right, seeing none, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now to the superintendent's report.
I just wanted to bring up two different things. One, I really appreciated the transition that Dr. Milner and I had. You know, I really felt like she worked really hard in that interim and was really trying to keep Bloomfield moving forward and not just status quo. Like even the example of that grant, you know, her working on that. And I had some great meetings with her. She left a lot of notes of things that were ongoing. So I do feel like she did everything that she could to set me up for success in the transition. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is I've loved every minute that I've been here. And I feel like I had a great start. One of the things that I enjoyed most was doing one-on-one meetings with our employees and listening to them and listening and trying to learn about areas where they feel like I can have an impact on helping us continue to improve and better serve our students in school and staff. So it's been a joy. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And do we have any board member comments and items for future agendas?
Yeah, I want to thank our nurse, Renee, and as well as my clinics for offering the in-school physicals yesterday. That was a lot of kids and she put a lot of time and work into it. And it was great. Saved me money and time. 2 kids. So thank you. It
Yeah, 150.
was more than
170.
170.
170 and up there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's very good. All right, any other comments?
And I mean, kudos to Sarah for helping with that grant. I've written grants, they're not fun and they're not easy. And for her to do that, her first, coming in and taking over the cafeteria like she's done. So kudos to her for that, because it's awesome.
All right. Well, our future meetings will be May 25th, 2023 and June 29th, 2023 at 6 p.m. right here in the Media Center. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.